Hello everybody, JGC Anime here, and today I'm going to be reviewing Is It Wrong to Pick Up Girls in a Dungeon? When I heard that title, I immediately was confused, because the title itself completely caught me off guard. I was not expecting it, and oh my lord, oh my gosh. It was so freaking weird to watch this show, because I thought it was just going to be like one of those animes where just the main character is like this overpowered, strong goofball or complete weak dunderhead or something. Or like the weak guy who's also smart but is still weak. But it's really interesting because this series has managed to do something no other anime has done for me. Besides very few. Like, you see, I have this problem where once I watch an anime, it takes me at least 2 to 3 episodes to actually get into the story. Like, I need a lot of time in order to really get into it. And yet, somehow... I'll just explain it when I get to it, but... yeah, we're gonna be reviewing Is It Wrong to Pick Up Girls in a Dungeon? And let's hop right into this. Okay, so... the story summary is kinda simple. Our main character, known as Belle, is in a dungeon where he's saved by a person of the Loki clan known as Eyes, or I don't actually know how to pronounce her name, I just try my best here. And after being saved by her, he grows a crush on her, which is really funny, and because of that crush on her, it leads for him to gain abilities to gain more experience and get stronger as time went on. And it was just really fun to see that part of him, and it was just the whole adventure that continues on. A lot of interesting things are introduced, such as Belle is a member of the Hestia Familia, which if you don't know what familias are, they're like people supporting specific gods who are all on Earth now. And he's in the Hestia clan with Hestia, obviously. And along the way, he'll meet friends such as Welf, a guy who can make magic swords and is a really good craftsman, and Lilaruka, or I always just call her Lily because I can barely remember her name. And she is an interesting character. And while I definitely don't really there's a lot of stuff that happens in season 2 as well with this character called Haruhime or whatever her name is, and Mikoto. I say Mikoto because it's just weird because I watched the certain series a while back with Mikoto Misaka. But moving past that, so basically the story is all about Belle trying to grow as a character so he can feel like he's worthy of being around Eyes, since she's a super powerful, legendary adventurer. And it's just really fun to see all the adventures him, Welf, and Lily, I'm calling her Lily, go on. They're always just so much fun to watch. So, some parts I liked. A lot. I thought Belle was a fantastic main protagonist. I thought he was great. I thought he did a really good job. And I generally had a lot of fun with him as the protagonist of the show. He did get annoying from time to time with how oblivious he could be. And he does get a little annoying when he's just like, oh my gosh, is that what you meant? Or some kind of ridiculous thing where he just doesn't understand the situation or is able to read it. I still think he's a great main character. He's just a nice kid who generally wants to be able to be a great adventurer. And I can really respect that. And I actually really like that part of his character. And it's just a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun with the characters in this show. I liked all the characters too, and the world. They were all so good. And I was really scared for the action in this show. I was really worried that the action was gonna be really boring, since most animes I've been watching recently have had fight scenes that are either mediocre or just fine, sometimes even bad. But the action in this show was so freaking great. I love the action in this show. It is so well done. And generally, I just have so much fun with this anime. There's barely anything I can really say that I dislike about it, because there's just so many positives that the negatives just evaporate. It's like, if there's one bad thing introduced, they'll just throw it out and go for another. They understand the situation and what's interesting. While I definitely can't say I enjoyed season 2 of the show as much as I did season 1, I still thought both seasons were generally pretty good. But that's kind of like what I say. The one thing I did kind of dislike was that season 2 story was not as strong as season 1 story. But I still really enjoyed it. So, and spoiler-free thoughts, let's just say I was walking into this expecting one of those simple animes where the guy manages to get like 1 billion girls and he's just either a super strong idiot or a super smart weakling. And he's actually more of a in the middle. He's not too strong. He's actually weak compared to some of the other characters. However, he does manage to do a lot of stuff, and he's not dumb either. He's very oblivious sometimes, but he's still a great character. Belle is the main character. He's still a great character. And I really thought his story throughout all this was really good. And then I actually also got nervous because I learned that there was a side series that focused on eyes. And I was really nervous that was going to be like a really boring like side series. Is it wrong to pick up girls in the dungeon on the side? That's what the series is called. And I was really worried it was going to be like this really boring like off story about eyes, but it was almost as entertaining as the original show. I am amazed at how good this show is. I am completely dumbfounded. Like, I really was expecting this show to be that generic kind of, okay, this is a fine storyline type of thing, but I thought this was freaking amazing. I can't really understand anything bad about it, and I'm already looking forward to season 3. I'm really looking forward to it. It looks really interesting from the like different trailer bits. So that's what I'm gonna kind of go with. I really recommend a watch at least once, at most 500 times. I've rewatched it twice, I think. At least season 1. Season 2 is a bit more on the iffy side, but I'm just gonna walk into the spoiler-free, no, not the spoiler-free thoughts, the actual spoiler thoughts right now. So if you guys are not wanting any spoilers, then I'm gonna count down from 5. If you're still here after that, you're gonna hear spoilers. Ready? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, so the fact is, I thought this was gonna be an interesting anime, because normally when I find animes that have like these ideas about doing like picking up girls or something like that, or something about love, I figure there's always going to be some kind of harem aspect. If you don't know what a harem is, it's where multiple girls or multiple guys fall for the same person. It doesn't have to be a guy or girl specifically, it just has to be like just somebody who everyone falls for. And while that is part of it, several of the girl characters do fall for Belle. It's not bad. It's actually really entertaining to see how they react, and it's just so much fun. And they're not trying to like force every single character onto him either. Like there's the character Makoto, who was introduced and is in season 2, and as she joins the group, she's not into him. She's into her original god, who she was with before she joined the Hestia group. And Welf is in love with this other lady, and it's just, they don't try to like force all these characters to fall in love with Belle or something like that. It's still a kind of unique aspect that I really liked, because the characters who did fall for him made perfect sense. Like, they had a reason to. Like, we don't even know if Eyes is really that interested in him, because, well, even in her side story, we didn't really get much attention on her entirely. We got it on Elf Girl. I didn't even know was there in the, I don't even know if she was in there in the original. But I just freaking thought that whole aspect was hilarious, especially when season 2 did roll around and they got a mansion. I thought that was hilarious with how, after all that, after everything, oh my gosh, it was all so freaking good. There were so many good jokes, so many good moments. I thought the show was so freaking good. And even if Belle is extremely oblivious and doesn't understand the situation, he's still a great protagonist because you still want to root for him. he works hard. He's died nearly many times, and there's never been something from Is It Wrong to Pick Up Girls in a Dungeon that I hated, like, necessarily fully. Like, I was really worried about the movie. If you don't know, there was a Is It Wrong to Pick Up Girls in a Dungeon movie. And it has that kind of generic storyline where somebody's introduced and they die by the end of the movie, or something else happens to them that makes them not be able to stay in the show anymore, or even be in the show. That does happen in that movie, but even when I normally watch that, I absolutely hate it or feel nothing towards it. I really enjoyed the movie. I didn't think it was like top 5 best movies. No, not at all. I thought it was just fine at best. But still, I enjoyed it. I didn't hate the movie. And that's just crazy how the show can be good enough that even with its generic storylines, it still keeps me entertained long enough for me to actually enjoy it. The action in this show is freaking amazing. And overall, I just think Belle's one of my top 5 favorite main characters in anime. Like, he's one of my top 5. In fact, maybe he's actually the top 2. There's only one ahead of him. Which, if you guys want to know, that's Soma Yukihira from Food Wars. I already did a review on Food Wars, so I can't really say much, but Soma from Food Wars is my favorite character. Favorite main character from anime. But moving on past that, Belle is the second favorite, and he is freaking amazing. I love Belle as a character. He's a great character. His arcs and the stories that happen throughout the series are great, and I just absolutely loved the stories that were told in Is It Wrong to Pick Up Girls in a Dungeon, and I'm looking forward to season 3. Bring it on, people. I'm ready. I'm ready for season 3. Just wanted to quickly say that because I really am looking forward to when season 3 does happen, which I know it's going to happen. I'm looking forward to a lot more from this series, and yeah, I guess we're at the conclusion now. So, in short, I have to say, I had almost no hope for this anime at all. I thought it was just going to be your generic story, okay thing that was just going to be fine. It wasn't going to be anything super phenomenal. As I said before, many people at the beginning of this, I said how most animes take several episodes for me to get into it. It took this anime 1 episode. Just the first episode, and I was immediately hooked. It was so good. It was an instant favorite. I have loved the series, and I really want to see more. And I just really, really like this series. I really liked watching it, and I'd really happily watch it again. And yeah, I'd probably rate this a 10 out of 10. The first one ever, because while season 2 was not very good, it's not bad either, but I'd say this is a complete 10 out of 10 because, well, it's good. It's really good. I absolutely loved it. And I don't regret giving it a 10 out of 10. It is perfect for that choice. And I think it's great. Highly recommend it. I loved it. And that's all I can say because, honestly, making a video about Is It Wrong to Pick Up Girls in a Dungeon, about what's good about it, would probably take an hour. If I tried to make one what was bad about it, it'd probably take a minute at most. And basically, I'm just saying, the show's one of the best shows I have ever watched. I think it's great. I think the main character is great. I think the side characters are great. Well, besides Hestia, she's kind of annoying. But I can accept her because she's part of the show. And even if I don't like her as a character, I still like the fact that she brought Belle into this series in a way. And Belle is the best character in the show. And yeah, that's all I can say. I'm JGC Anime, and I shall see you all around. Peace.